PowerPoint. She had a whole fundraising presentation that she was making, and she actually made it to our staff and board. And I have to say, I think maybe we picked up a few tips from her. So she did a really great job with that.
She's got some open money on it.
Well, my next question is for the Campisanos. Mark, you mentioned in your introduction that you all have a very structured, formalized process where you conduct site visits and review charities and really scrutinize who you want to donate to. Could you talk a little bit more about what you look for when you're going on those site visits and how you all determine which charities you give to?
Sure. The way we're set up is everybody brings organizations to the table that they have an interest in. And the organizations could be some connection the family has to it. It could be an individual that has come across something that they want to bring to the group. And then we kind of vet it out. We talk about the different organizations. We kind of look at where we stand from a standpoint of funds we have available. And then when we go out and meet with the organizations, we want to see firsthand what they're doing. We want to meet people. We want to understand, what they're going to do with the funds from that standpoint. So there again, we do this on an annual basis. One of the things that is important to us is not giving to the same organizations, because if we gave to the same organizations, there would really be no reason for us, to meet. So while we do ongoing gifts, a couple of years, we try not to get in that, but it allows us the opportunity to leverage our funds as well. So after we go out and we visit with the organizations and we meet the individuals, then we talk about the funding. And we have a pretty diverse background, the members of the committee. So we've kind of gotten to this a couple times from a philosophical standpoint, where it might not be something that I philosophically agree to, but I respect the individual that's bringing it to the table, and if it's something they feel strong about, then we'll go forward and support that organization. So.
Does anybody else have anything to add on that? How you select what charities you'd like to donate to? No. Okay. Well, my next question, really open to anybody who wants to answer. So the idea of passing on your legacy comes up quite often in family philanthropy. The idea of family values and passing those on to the next generation. And so I actually wanted to start this question out with a quote that is actually from a publication called Living the Legacy, The Values of a Family's Philanthropy Across Generations. Over time, family members change and program priorities change. What holds the family and its philanthropy together is the legacy of its values. This legacy provides continuity, and it is that continuity, family values, that gives the family philanthropy its special character. So I didn't know if anybody would be willing to share your family's feelings on your values and the importance of passing on your legacy and your values on to the future generations as your family grows.
I'll respond to do that. I think legacy is a word that implies recognition or some honor, and I think to us that's just not been an important issue as far as lasting recognition. The kind of philanthropy we've done doesn't result in plaques on buildings, and that's fine, but it just hasn't been that way. It's about people. But we've drafted a family mission statement, a giving mission statement. It's really a formal thing. I think it may have come out of a seminar like this that we went to, and very careful said, these are our values, this is what we want to do, this is what we wish to impact in certain areas. And we had to narrow it down because we also believe that you have to impact specific things. You can't impact everything, or you won't move the ball anywhere, but just by spreading your gifts and giving wide. So we've concentrated, in our case, it's in education and entrepreneurship to create sustainability. So we're all about people being self-sustainable. So those projects are more interesting. It's not that you don't support other things like our church or other projects. And we've shared that with our girls. I got to admit, with limited, interest from time to time. Sometimes, when you call a family meeting, it doesn't exactly go over really well. They roll their eyes and slouch in the chairs. But, they get it, and then it'll pop up at the most unexpected moment, like when our daughter decided to do this project for the Community Foundation, which, her piece of it was $16,000, which is a lot of money for an 18-year-old or 17-year-old kid to raise. So when she took that on, we were surprised and figured she must have been sneaking in our notebook and reading the mission statement because she was following those values. So I think a lot of them they're granted by example, by living them, by doing that every day. It's part of the dinner conversation. What did you do today? Well, Mom worked on a fundraiser or did a board meeting, or they ask why, and they've grown up with that. So those values, I think, have been imparted successfully so far in our kids. And that's the legacy I would like. It is about giving. It is about giving to other people and making their lives better. If they walk away with that, success.
I do think the children are watching, not so much what you say, but what you do. And one funny example that our oldest had an internship in Boulder, Colorado, and it was at the Gay and Lesbian Pride office in Boulder. And so I said, Betsy, is there anything you want to share with Mother? Everything's okay. Where we are, it's all right. And she said, yes. They don't even track who comes in the door. How are they going to have any kind of donor base that Andy will fund? They don't even know who they serve. And I thought, oh, okay. So they're listening. They're getting it. And also she said, I said, why did you buy that? She said, I don't have a car. It's the only one I could walk to.
Great. Well, does anybody else have anything to add on that? The concept of family values or passing on your legacy?
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, the Ackerson family, we don't have anything nearly as rigorous as the other two families. It's pretty informal, but I will say this: the fund has become something to honor my father, husband. Both mom's side and dad's side of the family came from rural parts of Kentucky, very poor. Came to Louisville, and as a family, we just feel extremely lucky that they were both successful and have done well in the city. And we feel like it's very important to give back to the city of Louisville and all the things that they were involved in. So we don't have a rigorous process of deciding which charities. We're pretty well open to suggestions, and we appreciate when the Community Foundation makes suggestions to it. We like to support local things, and we like to support things that mirror the way our family grew up, which was kind of pull yourself up from bootstraps kind of groups. And that's kind of a soft spot in our heart when we see stories like that, and we like to support them. So I think that's the number one theme of our family giving is to try to give back for all the good things the community has done for our family. Because we certainly know it could have ended up very differently.
Great, thank you. So I have a few questions here. Probably might answer some of the questions you all have out there from the nonprofit development professional standpoint. I'm sure that they are wondering a few things since we have a group of donors here in the room. Do you all like to be recognized for your philanthropy? Do you like to be recognized when you make contributions? And how do you like to be recognized? Do you like to see your name in a program? Do you like to be invited to special functions? What are the things that you are looking for from the nonprofits? You're making an investment in them. What would you like to see back? the organizations, if
Parade.
anything? A parade. Parades for everyone. Or maybe that's not important. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to speak
Well,
to that.
I'll start. It's not important to us at all. I agree with Ken on that. We don't need our names on buildings or anything like that. It's absolutely not important. It's about who we give to more than it is recognition.
I guess I have a different view from the standpoint of my father and my uncle. I mean, we'd like, opportunities, naming opportunities, depending on the situation and what we're supporting. But like I said, the older I get, the more I like to see the name, because it's, from my standpoint, it's about, keeping the memory alive, and that gives me an opportunity to keep that memory alive.
Or you could sort of be in the middle, and if having your name on that list might encourage somebody else to participate, I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. If having your name on the invitation or wherever it is brings other people to the table, I like that. Maybe we can all agree that the reason we do it is because it makes a difference. So knowing somehow from the organization that what you did made a difference is meaningful to us. That's why we do it, because it made a difference.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so I have just a few more questions, and then we might see if anybody else has some questions out there. This is mainly directed towards the Campisano family, but anybody can answer. I know it's really important in family philanthropy to celebrate the family, celebrate the family's philanthropy in the community and what their family is doing to help the community. I thought maybe, Mark, you might be willing to talk about how you all celebrate your philanthropy. I know you've had some milestones along the way, and how important that is to you all.
From our standpoint, we make it a very real thing from a standpoint of, we have our logo, we have our letterhead, we have our, family meetings, we have, structure from the standpoint of what we go through, because the more we do that, the more that it's real to us. So we have milestones. We, passed one of our major milestones in 2005, and we had almost given away as much as we had actually started with, and that was a milestone. We have another milestone that we're working on now, and I'm not sure when we'll reach that, but that's an opportunity just for us to, to get together and to kind of look at what we've done. When we go through our annual meetings, we have our charts, and we have every grant we've given out. We go through and look at what areas we've supported from the standpoint of arts and humanities and all of those. And the milestones that we reach are not to be, we don't share that publicly. It's more internal, and it's just an opportunity for us to kind of look back and say, boy, look at what we've done, and an opportunity to look forward to see what we've got next on the horizon.